So now that we have the amp all done, I thought it'd be kind of nice to go through and note every single thing we did to the amp. And then depending on what I captured before I started doing the work, maybe I can do some A/B comparisons of showing the before and after, kind of like a extreme makeover kind of concept. The moment I've been waiting for what seems like forever. We've got the chassis, we've got everything checking out on the workbench, we've got the cab, all of these speaker terminals resoldered. Everything's good to go. So now we get to finally mate the chassis with the cab. Let's do it. All right, I've got a question for you. What could be better than one Blackface vintage Fender amp? How about two? My little surprise I alluded to earlier was I actually picked up a second vintage Fender, and this one happens to be another Pro Reverb. So this is a 1966 Fender Pro Reverb. It looks extremely clean, it's beautiful, and there's one main reason why I picked this up. So let's go throw it on the workbench and I'll show you guys. All right, so here the amp is. As you can see, it looks beautiful. I've got the back plate off, but you can see the Jensen speakers here. It's got the foot switch. It's got a 2-prong cable still. It is in quite good condition, actually, but definitely could use some love. So the reason why I picked this up actually is because of the tubes. So this popped up locally for a very good price. And I was curious about the Blackface Pro Reverb, one that was in more original condition versus the 67 Blackline Silverface that I've already shown in this series. So that was one reason, but the other reason I really wanted it was the tubes. So I'm gonna show you guys what tubes it came with and then explain a bit more. So we'll start from my side over here, the left side, with the rectifier tube. So the rectifier tube in this amp is, this is a Amperex Bugle Boy. So if you know anything about rectifier tubes, or really just vintage tubes in general, this is a pretty well-regarded tube. It is a GZ34 made in Great Britain. Really a fantastic tube. So that's one great tube. Let's move on to the power tubes. These are, this one you can't see as well. I think this one you can see better. A pair of GE 6L6 tubes. 6L6 GC. Very nice. I don't know the year on these. I'm not sure the date code, 1885. I'm not sure if that means 65 or what, but very nice. And really, this is the primary reason, if I'm being honest, all of these preamp tubes. So I believe one of these is not like the others, but the rest are exactly what I was looking for. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see that, but these are the meatball logo orange RCAs. Now, the reason that is so cool is that the power tubes I also picked up. There you go. This one has the markings on it still very clearly. Now, as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, which I know you guys will, I believe these orange logo RCAs are what would have come with the Vibrolux originally, and what presumably came with this Pro Reverb originally. This, again, is a 66. So that was kind of a missing piece of the puzzle that I wasn't really sure how I was going to tackle, the tube part, because as I showed in the very first video of the series for the Vibrolux, it came with a bunch of modern groove tubes, which are fine, but obviously I wanted to get some vintage tubes for it, but man, tubes are so expensive, so I wasn't really sure if it was possible, because if I were to buy all of these tubes individually, we would be talking hundreds and hundreds of dollars, not even counting the power tubes or the rectifier tube. We could be, you know, realistically, all of these tubes, this was the last one that wasn't like the others. This is an old GE 12AX7. So that's the only one that's not an old RCA. Let me grab the other tubes as well. So realistically, all of these tubes in this amp, if we were to total up what they would be worth if I were to buy them just separately one by one, we're talking probably, I don't know, $600+ I mean, I've seen this tube alone, the Amperex Bugle Boy GZ34, go for a couple $100s on its own. I know these 6L6s can also be extremely expensive, these old GEs, and then to have all of those. So really, it was just kind of an incredible opportunity for me to pick up the exact tubes I wanted for the Vibrolux. So there's one other piece that I would like to show to really complete this. So let me go ahead and grab that real quick. So we've got the RCA orange logo preamp tubes, all but one from this 66 Pro Reverb, which is, as I understand, exactly what would have come in the Vibrolux originally. I've got the awesome GZ34 Amperex. This is not what it would have come with originally, but is, as far as I can tell, really one of the best rectifier tubes you can buy. And then we've got those GEs, those vintage GE power tubes, but here's the last piece. Get close up on that. Got RCA, orange logo, 6L6 GCs. Again, as I understand it, these are exactly what would have come with the amp originally, which would be a match set with all of these other preamp tubes. So, really, I cannot believe all of this came together, to be honest. Like I said, this amp just popped up locally on a local Craigslist listing. It was listed very fairly, so I bought that basically immediately as soon as it was listed. These were came off of the gear page and were exactly what I was looking for. So, man, we've got everything we need for the Vibrolux. Everything has come together, which I'm really excited on. So next steps now will be installing these tubes into the Vibrolux and seeing how it sounds. I'm going to do just probably a couple little sound tests. I'll record that. I've already confirmed this amp works, and it sounded really good when I plugged it in and played it. So I know the tubes seem to be good to go, which is fantastic. But if you don't know, the difference between a Pro Reverb and a Vibrolux reverb is very small. Essentially 2x12, so bigger cabinet and 2 12 speakers versus the Vibrolux, which would be a 2x10 and a smaller cabinet. And the only other difference, as far as I know, is the power transformer. So the Pro Reverb gets a bigger power transformer, which means it puts out a little bit more power. These are generally considered 40 watts, while the Vibrolux is generally considered about 35 watts. So other than that, they should be extremely similar, or not, maybe, I don't know. There's, you know, obviously different parts in them. I just rebuilt the Vibrolux. This, I've not opened it up yet, so I'm not sure what lies inside exactly. I've seen photos, and it looks pretty good. So has had some work done to it, but obviously not a ton because it's still rocking the two-prong, but it does have all the blue moldeds and everything as you would want. So, all right, now let's go ahead and gear up for finally playing these amps. I'm so excited. So let's go ahead and take the tubes out of it that I was using for testing purposes. So the rectifier was a groove tube. I had an old Sylvania. So we're gonna just go ahead and take each tube from the Pro Reverb and install it in the Vibrolux here, including this old GE for V1. All right, there we go. We've got the complete set of tubes from the 66 Pro Reverb installed, and the amp's ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead and set up and do a quick little first playing demo and see how she sounds. I cannot wait. I'm super excited. I've been waiting for this for like what feels like a month and a half now at this point. So awesome, let's go do that. Just like that, we're done. Man, I'm so pleased with how everything came out. This amp sounds, in my opinion at least, fantastic. It is the quintessential Blackface Fender tone I was searching for and looking for. It's just exactly it. I'm so pleased. Put so much into this, and yeah, man, being able to just strum it, just a simple, cowboy chord with it turned up after, maybe three and a half. It's just money. I'm so pleased. So yeah, that's it. Now the Fender Vibrolux here gets to start its new journey in life. It's got a new lease on life, ready to go for the next, another decade maybe of playing. And I can't wait to play it out and really use this amp, because that was the end goal. This was not to make a piece that just sits. I really want to be able to go out and play it. So there you go. That's it. I don't really have a whole lot else to say. Do I want to do that? Yeah, I'll do it. So I was tallying up just kind of everything I put into this. I was just curious for myself. Maybe I'll cut this out, but and I was trying to just kind of determine how much I put into this project. Not only money, but just time spent as well. I don't think people really understand how much work goes into this kind of thing. And I had no idea how much it was. I knew it was a lot, but I was just curious. So I recorded basically everything I did, all the work I did to the amp. And in total, it was 655 gigabytes worth of footage that I kept and used for this Vibrolux restoration project series. 655 gigs. So that is not a little bit. That's a lot of space used up for this. And then I also looked up, based off of that, how many hours of recorded footage that equaled out to. And it was 23.85 hours of recorded footage. So that's actually the camera on, red light blinking, 24 hours worth of footage there. And then I was trying to think of how much time I put into all the edits. I estimated probably like, I don't know, 4 hours per video, plus or minus, to edit each video. So times that by 11, you know, and now you're looking at, well, now 12. This video will be 12. So 48 hours of edit time. So combine those two, you're looking at 72 hours of actual work. You know, that's not 72 hours of just like on, off, on. That's actually me doing something with this project. So yeah, what is that? 9 8-hour work days, I think that comes out to. So, and that's no lunch break, anything. So all of that to say, I'm not saying like, woe is me, whatever. This was a major passion project for me. I put so much into it. I work a full-time job, and this was just something I did basically every day for nearly a month, maybe even over a month total, after work, working on this, learning how to work on this amp, learning how to do it right, taking my time, testing, fixing, testing, all of that. So yeah, I'm just really pleased. I'm overwhelmed, but I'm overwhelmed with how great it came out and the journey looking back. But I'm just really pleased with everything. So thank you guys for watching. You know, I know this was content that's pretty niche and not, you know, super super interesting to everybody. And it's, you know, for those that are really into the digital stuff, this is maybe not that interesting to you, but this is something that I'm passionate about. And yeah, that's my YouTube channel in a nutshell. Just me exploring things I'm interested in, not following the trends, sometimes to my detriment. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I'm just really, really stoked. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this type of content, I do have a buy me a coffee little link in the description of all my videos. If you like this kind of stuff, it's, you know, small bit, but it's appreciated. I get basically nothing from YouTube. So that's just a little, little self plug there. But yeah, otherwise, you know, the biggest thing is just like, comment, subscribe, share. I really appreciate it. As for next content coming up, we'll see, but stay tuned. I've already shot another video, and I've got some big life changes coming up here in a second. I've got a baby due, my first, with my wife any day now. So yeah, we'll see. But right now, I'm just really stoked on this amp and how everything came out. So thanks for watching, guys. And until next time, I'll see you.